Hello everyone. This is the fourth part of the chapter life process. In this part, you are going to see how the respiration in human beings is going to take place. We are having terrestrial animals and aquatic animals, right? So, terrestrial animals respire in different way and aquatic animals respire in different way. So, every organisms are having their own kind of respiration. Terrestrial organisms are having different and aquatic animals are having different. So, human beings come under terrestrial organisms, right? So, the terrestrial organisms use oxygen which is present in the atmosphere for respiration. We are going to breathe or we are going to take the oxygen from the atmosphere. And the organisms which are aquatic, they are going to take the oxygen which is present in the water, and we are going to call that as the dissolved oxygen, right? We are going to call it as dissolved oxygen. So, terrestrial organisms are not going to take the dissolved oxygen. We are going to take the oxygen which is present in the atmosphere. Human beings are going to take the oxygen by nostrils. Nostrils is nothing but the nose. Okay? Nostrils are nothing but by nose we are going to breathe it. So, mainly the human respiratory system involves the following parts. What are those? Nostril, nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli, blood capillaries. So these are the parts which involved under respiration in human beings. So we are going to learn how exactly and what is going to happen when we are going to breathe out. So as I said earlier, respiration starts with nostril. Right, we are going to take the oxygen from the nostril. That is nothing but nose. The air is taken into the body from the nostril. Next, from the nostril, so here you can see, so this is the nasal cavity, and here you are having the nostrils, that is nothing but the two holes in your nose. So we are going to take the air from the nose and that is going to pass into the nasal cavity. The nasal cavity is nothing but the space which is present in the nose. So air is going to pass through the nasal passage. So next we are having nasal cavity. Nasal cavity is nothing but the empty space, we can say, or the space which is present inside the nose, that is called as nasal cavity, and here they said that it is lined with mucus and fine hairs. As I said earlier, mucus is nothing but the sticky substance which is present in the nose. That substance we are going to call it as mucus, right? And the nose is also having some small hairs or fine hairs. So, when the air is going to enter into the nose, the air contains many dust particles. So, these dust particles are stopped by these nasal hairs or the hairs which is present in the nose, right? So, the hair is going to stop the dust particles which is present in the air, and the mucous membrane also moisturizes, warms and filter the air. So this filtration of the air is done by these hairs. If you breathe out the air properly, you feel that your air is warm. While taking inside, also the air is going to become warm and it is going to become moisture. So this is about nasal cavity. And next you are having pharynx. So pharynx, it contains rings of cartilage which ensure that the air passage does not collapse. So here you are having this kind of thing. That thing is called as pharynx, and this pharynx contains ring-like structures. It contains ring-like structures. We are going to call that as the rings of cartilage. So these rings of cartilage prevent the air to collapse. That means what? It's going to pass it slowly instead of collapsing. And you are having larynx, the voice box where the manipulation of pitch and volume take place. That means what? Larynx is actually also called as voice box. That means what? Whenever you are going to talk, you are going to have the pitch of the sound and the volume of the sound high or low because of the air. Because of air only you are able to have the pitch and volume in your voice. So that's about the larynx. So trachea is the next part here. So this is the trachea. The pharynx splits into trachea and the esophagus. Right, esophagus is nothing but the food pipe through which the food is going to enter. So this trachea connects larynx and bronchi of the lungs. So this trachea is going to connect the larynx and the bronchi of the lungs. So trachea, we can say trachea is the middle part between the larynx and the bronchi. So bronchi, these are the main passageway to the lungs. So bronchi are going to enter into the lungs through which the air is going to pass to the lungs. So the oxygen which has been taken from the nose is going to pass from these passages and finally to the lungs, and from the lungs the air is going to purify, and at last you are going to see that you are going to leave out carbon dioxide. So these are the nothing but bronchi, or the in singular form we are going to call it as bronchus. So coming to this bronchioles, bronchioles are nothing but, as I said earlier, so here we are having the trachea part, right? Here we are having the trachea part. This trachea part is going to divide it into bronchus. Okay, so this part we are going to call it as bronchus. So these are nothing but, in singular we can say bronchus, and these bronchus, they are going to subdivided into other parts called as bronchioles. Okay, just imagine the stem. So this is the stem and these are the other stem parts or the branches we can say. Okay, so this is the stem, so these are the branches. So and these branches are again divided into small branches. That small branches are nothing but bronchioles. Fine. So bronchi get smaller when they reach close to the tissue and are called bronchioles. So these are nothing but bronchioles. The bronchus is going to subdivide it into bronchioles. Now coming to the alveoli. Alveoli are nothing but, these are the tubes which terminate to balloon-like structures called as alveoli. So these bronchiole are again divided into some parts, small parts, and these small parts are having some balloon-like structures. That is nothing but the hole-like structures like this. If you see properly under the microscope, or you are going to see the balloon-like structures, and these balloon-like structures are nothing but alveoli, and they allow oxygen and carbon dioxide to move between the lungs and the bloodstream. That means what? These are the structures which allow the carbon dioxide or the oxygen to flow through the blood, right? So from the nose to the alveoli, and then to the oxygen is going to combine with the, that means what? The oxygen which is taken from the nose transported to the lungs, and here the lungs are going to purify the air which we have taken, and that purified oxygen is passed to our blood. So next, blood capillaries. So from the alveoli we are having the blood capillaries, so that the oxygen is going to transfer to the blood, or it is going to mix up with the blood, and from the blood it is transported to the all parts of the cell or all parts of the body. was inhalation and exhalation. So you all know what is inhalation and what is exhalation. Inhalation is nothing but taking in oxygen. The process of taking the oxygen from the atmosphere, that process we are going to call it as inhalation, and the process of leaving out carbon dioxide we are going to call it as exhalation. Inhalation, taking in oxygen, exhalation, leaving out carbon dioxide. So, what happens during inhalation? If you see the figure, here the oxygen is going to enter into the nose, and from nose, the larynx, pharynx, everything, and then it enters to the lungs. During that time, what happens? Here we are having the diaphragm, right? The dome-like shape, the dome-shaped thing, we are going to call it as diaphragm. So, this diaphragm, what happens? Or the whole chest cavity, that is nothing but where the chest is present, the whole chest cavity is going to expand. Expand is nothing but it's going to become bigger in size. If you observe it properly while taking in oxygen, you are going to feel that your chest part is going to move little bit front. So your chest cavity is going to expand, or it's going to move front. And the ribs which are present in the body, they are going to move upward. That means the ribs are completely lifted up, and the diaphragm is going to become flat in shape. Volume of the lungs increases. Volume of the lungs increases is not because of oxygen which you have taken is entered into the lungs. So the volume increases, the chest cavity increases or it expands, and the diaphragm is going to move downward, right? And after all this process, exhalation takes place. During exhalation, the chest cavity contracts. That means it comes closer and the ribs move downward. Here the ribs are going to move. As you see, the ribs are going to move upward in the inhalation process, or the ribs are going to move downward in the exhalation process, and the diaphragm is going to, or this part is going to move upward during exhalation, and the volume of the lungs decreases. If you see it properly, the area here is more and the area is very less. So that's the reason here it expands and here it is going to decrease. So one more extra point I wanted to say to you. Let me come to the back slide. So here if you see this figure, you are having the nose here and here you are having the mouth. So if sometimes what happens, if you observe it, whenever you are going to eat it, the food which you are going to eat it, or the water which you have drank, that comes from the mouth. Have you noticed it? I think so, everyone noticed it. But do you ever know the reason? The reason is nothing but, so if you see it properly, the nose cavity and the mouth cavity having the single passage here. So they are going to meet at one point, and here you are having a part called as epiglottis. Here exactly, so this is the mouth part, this is the nasal part. Exactly where they are going to meet, there you are having a epiglottis. We are going to call this as the part called as epiglottis. So this epiglottis is going to prevent the passage of food to the nose and air to the nose. So if you observe it properly, while you are eating, you cannot talk or you cannot breathe it. So the oxygen which is mixed up with the blood reaches and combines with the hemoglobin. That is nothing but the pigment which is present in the blood. We can say red blood cell. RBC is nothing but red blood cells. So the oxygen is going to combine with the hemoglobin. We can say the pigment which gives red color to the blood is nothing but hemoglobin. It is going to mix up with the hemoglobin, and oxygen is going to release in the alveoli tissue. And after all this, the carbon dioxide is released in the blood and dissolves into the blood and is carried through the blood vessels. Then CO2 released into alveolar sac, which is sent through the nostrils. So if you observe it properly, the breathing process, you are going to take in oxygen and you are going to leave out the air again. So the leaving out, the air which you are going to leave out, that air is nothing but the carbon dioxide, right? So it happens in the fractions of seconds, and the oxygen which you have taken, that is going to reach to the all parts of the body, or the every cell which is present in your body. So you are going to take in oxygen and you are going to leave out the carbon dioxide. So, and in the previous video I didn't said about the difference between aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. First thing, aerobic respiration, the name itself says the respiration is going to take place in the presence of oxygen, and anaerobic is nothing but absence of oxygen. And as I said earlier, aerobic respiration, in aerobic respiration the amount of energy released is more, and in anaerobic respiration the amount of energy released is less when compared to aerobic respiration. And aerobic respiration occurs in mitochondria, anaerobic respiration occurs in cytoplasm. So here the end products of the aerobic respirations are carbon dioxide, oxygen and energy. So here anaerobic respiration, alcohol and CO2 are the end products with the energy again. Okay, so energy is less in anaerobic respiration and more in aerobic respiration.